G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a Marine Anti-Materiel rifle. This is a standalone sniper rifle that features custom animations and tweaked vanilla game sounds. This weapon is based on a real-life firearm called the Barrett M82, or perhaps the Barrett 50 cal as it's more colloquially named. So this thing, it's a big sniper, it shoots big 50 caliber bullets, and the damage is enough to suit it, unlike the vanilla game hunting rifle, which is quite weak for a 50 caliber weapon. You gotta remember how massive these bullets are, how much energy is in that projectile. When it hits you, there's going to be limbs and they're going to be falling off and flying through the air. So yeah, this thing doesn't mess around, and the damage hopefully can reflect that once we get it tuned up a bit, of course. The Barrett M82 was originally developed in the year 1980 and produced from 1982 onwards, and has been in the US military in service from 1989 to the present day, so it obviously does its job pretty well. There have been many Barrett M82s that have been modded into Fallout 4. I think one of the first ones was made around 2016, and we were still using the combat rifle animations before modders figured out how to actually utilize custom animations for their rifles. And I think there's another one, more notably, that was released with the Combined Arms weapon pack. So I don't remember exactly what that gun's performance was like, but I think the damage number was like 1100 or something. So we'll have to see how this one stacks up. But the DAC, he knows what he's doing, so I feel like this will be a fun weapon and perhaps more balanced than its contemporaries. So we'll see how we go. Let's go to the attachments. First of all, we've got the receivers. Let's scroll all the way down. Advanced receiver giving us 395. Interesting. You'd think we'd get a little bit more than that for a 50 caliber rifle. Do we have SVDs that are hitting harder than that from COD ports? I'd have to double check that, but it is out damaging the vanilla game 50 caliber up-chambered hunting rifle by a significant margin, so I suppose it's more of a vanilla game balance thing there. And we've also got little grooves in the receiver now where the barrel is to cool the barrel down a little bit. Anyway, so now we go over to the barrels. You can have standard barrel, short barrel, reduce your range, fluted, increase it, or increase the accuracy, and there's a long barrel and a long fluted barrel for the best stats all round. At gun nut rank 3, that's when you unlock it, so we'll do that. That's actually got a hexagonal pattern on the barrel there, that's interesting. Next, we have the stock. To start off with a standard, you can have a heavy stock, which gives you exceptional sighted accuracy, better recoil, and aim with scopes. That's pretty good. Recoil compensating stock, which is useful for a sniper like this being a semi-auto thing, so if you're worried about recoil for follow-up shots, then that's a pretty good pick. And a marksman stock for, you know, better accuracy when you're looking down a scope. It makes the scope sway a lot less. So pretty strong picks for the recoil compensating and marksman stock, but we'll go for a recoil compensating approach on this one, and we'll move over to the magazines. You can have a standard magazine, a quick eject version of that with armor piercing as well. You don't actually get a damage penalty with that, which is pretty good. Synergizes as well with the little bit of armor penetration that you get out of riflemen as well, which is pretty nice. You get an incendiary magazine, which gives you 15 points of fire damage, which is like nothing compared to what you get out of this compared. So I mean, for flavor it's fine, but performance wise we're not really interested in that one, at least for now. And we've also got depleted uranium, which gives you a little bit of flavor damage. It gives you a better reload speed and armor piercing ability. What's the armor piercing factor? Who knows? But according to this, the DPS will go up to 1200 for some reason. So sure, we'll put these rad rounds in. That's cool. And next up, we'll go over to the sights. Your standard sights now, you can have glowing versions of those if you're so inclined. Holographics for shorter range, and if you attach these ones, you'll get this sort of little Picatinny riser set up here, which is kind of cool. And there's a combat scope, short, medium, and long, and also options for recon scopes and this thermal scope as well, that's part of one of the DAC attachment packs, which looks awesome. The green matches the green on the magazine too, so you've got that going for you as well. Let's go for a recon scope there because it's got that cool little sight. We'll see that one in first person as we get to it, but I quite like the recon scope. So anyway, next we've got the muzzles. You can have a bayonet on this thing. Interesting. A compensator, muzzle brake, heavy muzzle brake for recoil control. Very fast follow-up shots are probably possible, or more possible, with a big old muzzle brake like this, or a gigantic long suppressor. That'll give us the bonus from Ace Operator and boost our DPS even further, up to 500 per shot now, with even more rad damage, which is only going to be useful against humans, but it's the flavor that's there. That's what's important. And next, you got a legendary effect provided by legendary modification. Skip over that one, please. And we'll move over to your grips. You can have standard, heavy, comfort, and marksman grip. Better stability when ADSing. There's really nothing better than that. There's some recoil and hipfire accuracy bonuses here, but I mean, you've got rapid follow-up shots with the semi-auto platform anyway, so hipfire accuracy can probably go on the wayside for slightly better and more stable scoping. That's right, COD boomers, I'm a hard scoping scrub, you gotta deal with it. Next up, we've got the bipods. You can have it removed. A folded bipod will give you better hipfire accuracy, so there's plenty of hipfire attachments that you might be interested in for a close quarters role for this thing, for an assault anti-material rifle role. An unfolded bipod, better accuracy and stability whilst aiming, so yeah, less scope sway with that folded down. Sure, why not? And you've also got an accessory you can put on the side there. You can carry handle there. Easier to carry, reduces the weight by a pound. That's kind of cool. It's a little elegant thing, so I quite like that one. It also gives you faster ADS speed, which if you want a quick scope, like I won't be doing, then that's going to be a strong attachment for that. A flashlight, a laser is pretty good for hipfire accuracy. So yeah, you can really tool this into close range if you feel like it, you mad bastard. Also, there's also a VATS targeting computer thing you can attach on the side too, which is nice. That's sort of a staple of the DAC mods at this point, so I don't mind it. It's a little bit of a VATS bonus that is, well, an extraneous slot that you wouldn't usually have otherwise with other weapon mods. Let's go for a carry handle on this thing, because I like it and it looks cool with the carry handle. That's it. I suppose I'll show you how to get some of these, and there's a couple unique, so let's track them down. The Marine AMR is injected onto the level list at level 40. You'll find it on Gunners, Brotherhood of Steel, and in shops, just like Cleo's. 434 caps for an anti-material rifle. That is insane. That is a steal. The first unique we'll find not too far away from when I started recording this video. We're out in the middle of the ocean here, pretty much due east of the castle and due north of Spectacle Island here. You'll find this makeshift boat, this barge, if you will. You gotta swim over to it. If you get a survival disease, don't blame it on me. Do this at your own risk. Anyways, you'll find Snake Eyes here, which does more damage to lower your armor resistance. So that's Berserkers, but don't you worry. I've got a strategy to make sure we get all of that Berserker's damage when we get into combat. We'll talk about that one later. The second unique requires a little bit more exploration. We're here in the adjusted for visibility glowing sea and the abandoned shack, which is there. There's your crater of Adam there and the edge of the glowing sea. So literally go due west, and eventually you'll stumble upon this, as well as probably many other monsters on the way, but you'll deal with them, right? You're smart. Anyway, so you get to this abandoned shack. Make sure you get the key for this place from Bill over here, the science guy as it were, and go inside. Once inside, you'll just head down here, flick this switch, and you'll get inside, and you're in some sort of weird surveillance facility, and it goes all the way down, and there's like a couple of synths to go deal with, so you know, like, just no scope these guys and deal with them right quick. You can get down kind of easily without breaking your legs just by taking a couple of platforms down, and then Mr. Synth Lead will try to punch you in the face, so shoot him. And you'll find your AMR somewhere down here. That is not it. It's actually just hidden behind the power armor suit on the wall here, and it's the Cobra Assault Cannon. Bullets exploded impact doing a whopping 135. Wow, okay. That's a lot of damage. Flex Seal reference aside, yes, reduced capacity and range as well. Yes, the range is very low. State-of-the-art bang bang. Now, this is a Robocop weapon, isn't it? I looked it up on the internet. I was wondering where this Cobra Assault Cannon would come in, or Cobra as it were, and here it is. Okay, we're here outside of Immersive Gunners Plaza. Once again, here is our Marine Anti-Material Rifle in first person, and its cool recon scope. Check out that scope sway. There's basically nothing going on here. Let's see if I can get a triple collateral on these guys. Oh. Couldn't even get a double. I guess the stopping power of a 50 cal is absorbed by the Institute spy robot that we're looking at right now, but that's what it looks like in first person. In third person, looks like that. It's a big, gigantic chunk of a rifle, but it's not quite oversized as you'd expect. It's actually sizing up pretty well, and a weapon of this size, whilst it works with the classic holstered weapons, actually that suppresses clipping through. It also works well for a power armor suit as well. It makes it look like more of a similar, it's like a smaller rifle type thing. So there's a couple others that I made. This one's super close quarters battle spec, short barrel, and everything is made for hipfire. So it's got the bipod flipped up, a laser sight, and it's also got some more rad ammunitions in it, but yeah, the close quarters. So you can fire this thing pretty fast, and the hip-fire accuracy is going to be good. So that's the whole philosophy behind that one. Here is Snake Eyes, the Berserker's one, which currently my armor is very strong. So we're only doing 123 with this thing. So yeah, that's kind of crazy for for a 50 cal rifle, isn't it? But lastly, we've got our Cobra Assault Cannon. This thing I've tuned up with an advanced receiver, increased that range by giving it a better barrel. Now it's better. It's going to be very strong, I feel like it. So we'll have to see how we go. I wonder if this thing's going to be semi-auto or full auto. It is most definitely not full auto. And look at that, there's only got 5 rounds in this thing. Anyway, so regarding Snake Eyes here, here's the plan. So this armor, I've got ballistic wave on it. There's even armor rating on the gloves and the glasses. Here's a secondary outfit. It's a dress. You see Ella being a railroad agent, she needs to be disguised. So she's got some formal wear in a pocket to allow her to blend in these formal parties and events. That's why she's done up her hair all nicely. Anyway, so with that 0 damage resistance, energy and radiation resistance doesn't even come into it, we're getting ourselves a whopping 988 damage. So yeah, we've got a suppressor on this thing to keep ourselves nice and hidden because, well, if we're getting seen, we're going to be copping all of that damage rather than having some of the ballistic weave absorb it. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Anyways, this dress is from Classy Outfit Chassis, or Classy Chassis, something like that, by Graph Panzer. It's a cool mod. Anyway, so let's begin. Headshots, probably overkill on this thing, but we'll see how we go. Looks like our AP usage is not going to allow for that much in the way of gun fu, and without all of our armor, we haven't got all of this extra powered gear to increase my AP refresh rate. Even the grazing fire that they're getting here is doing a lot of damage, but we'll keep going. Sure, there'll be someone around here. Yep, that guy goes down. They'll try to creep over. As they're getting closer, they'll get into this weapon's effective range, and then headshots seem to kill them in one at that stage. Nice cover, bro. And with this glorious rate of fire, and we just reload this thing with quick hands. Okay. At this stage, they've seen me, but honestly, I think we can probably just get away with it here. Because the thing about Ella is that she's tough. She's level 120 something, 140 and something, which means that, well, that's not going to be helpful. She's got plenty of health. Like, raw health is like 1400, so we can tank a little bit. You understand we've still got the energy shields protecting us. That's where all the health comes from. You don't think it's realistic that I'm taking all of these bullets? Well, it turns out it is. We could be using something else though. Although we've still got plenty of health, we can probably get away with this for a little bit longer. We'll see how we go. Now that we're not getting sneak criticals, our damage isn't quite as impressive. We can still hit them pretty hard for headshots. Looks like a double headshot will mostly do the job. And if we want to hit them on the head, that'll do good as well. Okay. Enter close quarters battle cannon at this stage where, yeah, we're not messing around anymore. So here's what we'll do. We'll use VAFs and see if we can get a gun through streak going. Excellent. Mysterious Strange is going to show up as well. That's helpful. Yep. Grim Reaper sprint proc, and now it's crits for days. There we go. Just ran out of ammo at the wrong time there. 10 in the magazine is still pretty awesome, but yeah, it does take up a little bit of time to reload. Just never feels like enough, does it? But I should be, yeah, it should be enough. As a sniper, you need a capacity of one shot, 1 kill. Don't exactly know where I struck him there, but we'll use hipfire accuracy instead. There we go. Let's see. Let's utilize our assault cannon here because we haven't really done much of that yet. check out that hit scan explosion. And we'll just zip up here now and totally miss. Yeah, I meant to do that. Try that again. It gets to a point where it might be a little bit dangerous to me to do that. Oh, check out the massive impact crater it leaves behind. That's cool. You've got all these gunners poking their guns out the door here. They're about to suffer real bad. Right? Yes, there they go. That's a perfect room clearing device, and the purpose of the Cobra Cannon has been fulfilled. Looks like this thing also highlights targets as well with its custom scope, which is pretty cool. I'm going to do a crit here, see if we can get some explosive damage spread around. That's 1,000 on these guys. Yeah. So as expected, this thing's capacity for crowd control is strong. Provided your enemies are standing close enough to each other to feel the force of this, then that's good. Hang on, has this guy been... Is he being attacked by the big horners again? Because sometimes they wander in and they'll just start attacking them because, I don't know, are they allied with the player? Don't know. The ammo capacitor of this one kind of bites. 5, you definitely feel like it's a lot lower. You're definitely hitting that reload a lot more. Limits it potentially against large crowds, but if you've got a crowd of a small amount of enemies all crowded together, then there's really not much better than this thing. It's very strong, so yeah, it's pretty fun. Didn't blow everything away, but I feel like some of these unique variants sort of more than pulled their weight there. Yeah, unless you use the unique ones and to the maximum of their potential, you know, this thing is not going to be hitting for anywhere near as hard as your other more modern firearmsy versions of the Barrett M82. For the first monster, we'll be taking the Berserker's path once again. So here's Snake Eyes, and this time we'll be changing our tactics a little bit, because instead of looking down the scope and then not having follow-up shots for ages because, well, you recoil, I think what we'll do is just simply hip fire instead. So if we can nail these shots from afar and do a ton of damage to him nice and fast like this, we'll be able to take him out before he even gets close. And we can use quick hands to reload when targeting in VATS. Targeting in quotations, of course. But cheesing it like this will allow me to do a whole lot of damage. Oh, and Mysterious Stranger. That might be a good buffer if he doesn't actually see me. Oh, he definitely sees him. Well, that's good. Now I can go back to moving back here, and I think now it's a good time to start scoping in. Last couple of headshots to finish him off. Yeah, that was pretty good. I don't think I could have done that one better. It'd be better if the Mysterious Stranger didn't show up, but I guess that little time to escape and redraw to shoot those 3 consecutive headshots to drop him was fine after all, so sure, we'll give him a pass. This is kind of the issue with weapons that give them sniper knockdowns. The big boys, they don't really react well to it, and he didn't hear me firing a 50 cal at him, so what we'll do is we'll just hit fire instead. We'll spare the buggies on this day. Would you believe you can stagger him quite effectively with this rifle? So we'll keep doing that. He's quite a large target too. I mean, not as big as this one, but we can do a pretty good job. And oh, looks like you really don't want to be here, whoever that is, Mr. Settler. Oh, told ya. Oh, that was a Minuteman. Whoops. Preston's not going to be happy about that one. And well, that's the ballistic weave saving me just then. One activated Nerd Rage later, and never mind, I missed those last 2 shots. I had a critical in this one. Come on, bring that reload. There it is. Okay, that was close, but are you going to object to the fact that I've killed your brother in arms? No. I think they've got me confused with someone else. Allah is not affiliated with the railroad at all. I meant Minuteman. She's not affiliated with the Minuteman. Want to know something kind of crazy? I think I've actually haven't shot anyone with the weapon that I crafted at the start of the video. So let's change that. Welcome to West Everett Estates, and I've got a plan. The plan is to sit back and take Super Mutants' heads off from back here. So let's see how we go. So far, so good. Now, these guys probably aren't as tough as the gunners. Look at that side shuffling bastard there. Okay, I think I got that one. Wasn't quite sure if that was a knockdown or not. And, ooh, they're actually charging at me. They're making more of an effort to get out to me than the gunners were. So if these guys are rated Warlord, I think they'll be tougher than the gunners we faced earlier, but it doesn't look like these guys are. The heads all come off all the same way anyway, so I don't think that's too much of a problem. So yeah, that was just a little bit of a warm-up, because the main course is yet to be seen, at least for now. But before you do that, is that his little boot? I think it is, you know. Yep, that'll do the job. Shoot him in the tripod. I suppose that would knock over the turret if it was volatile enough to explode because of that. That's a design flaw, and there's the monster. You saw him just now. So we'll go up here, and we'll take out this turret. Now, since this guy completely teleports away as soon as we get any sniper knockdowns, we'll go over to reflex sight, and oh, cool. I got VATS input when I'm VATSing. That's interesting. I've never had that one before. We've got a long barrel on our close quarters battle rifle variant and a suppressor, which allowed us to get many sneak criticals up forward and as soon as we could hit them. Yeah, this guy kind of reminds me of those robot dogs that were with the Blarg dudes on Metropolis level from the original Ratchet & Clank. Maybe it's because I've got giant oversized jaws, but they're not robot dogs at all. They're just mutant hounds. It's like that mixed with those crazy dog monsters that were in that original Weird Hulk movie. Check out that centaur. He's meant to be a mutant hound, but I've got a mod that replaces some of the mutant hound spawns with the centaurs. I'm kind of sad that they didn't go in that crazy FEV body horror direction that much with the super mutants in this game, because I don't know. I don't think Fallout 4 is Disney-fied, but you know, they could have gone a little bit harder on some of the more horror elements. I think some of the more, I hope they expand on that in the next one, because I know, like, consumer friendly wise, it's probably not cool to have those horrific abominations running around, but still they look cool and they look like monster alien-y stuff that you wouldn't find in the real world. It's distinct, it's memorable. Like, could you remember the first time you saw a centaur in Fallout 3 and thought, what the fuck am I looking at here? It's terrible. This weird man creature's got all these tongue tentacles sticking out of his mouth, and he's shuffling around on human hands, and he's got like this constant pained expression. That shit is memorable. Although, I will say that the first time I saw a mutant hound and they did their howl thing, I thought that was a cool moment. That gigantic, deep, guttural howl that they do. I thought that was cool, but that is a fucking god roll. I didn't realize it was a... Okay, that's less cool because it's one of those ported things aren't quite as effective. I prefer my Gatling lasers fed on fusion cores, thank you very much. Still, good drop. But yeah, it'd be cool if they got back to that in some way, shape, or form in the next game, because, well, life wasn't easy before the Great War. For some reason, it was for the sole survivor, though. Like, they totally missed the fact that, hey, there's plagues going on, riots going on in the States. Like, you've even got the law behind the T-60 being, hey, this thing is developed because, you know, the citizens are getting rowdy, so they gave these people, the military, all the people in the country, what do they call it? Domestic military dudes deployed there. They gave them T-60 to, you know, bonk these protesters on the head to stop them from doing that. But that's never acknowledged in the intro. I don't think it's been quite Disney-fied, but, you know, there's an argument that you can have that. Plus, all of the bright colors and vibrant colors that go in my game, definitely not helping the point there, but what can you do, eh? Once it's modded, it's kind of like out of the equation, I think, so I think I'm safe with that. But anyways, that there was the Marine Anti-Materiel Rifle, Barrett M82, and it was a fun weapon to use. I think you could tweak up his damage numbers a little bit, just to make it slightly more competitive with something like a Gauss rifle, which will completely out-damage us and outperform this in basically any situation. Maybe not rapid follow-up shots, because you got to charge it up, but I think pure damage-wise, I think this thing could be increased a little bit. Somewhere around halfway between maybe where it is now and perhaps where the Gauss rifle is, or maybe take that same damage model from your Anti-Materiel rifle that was animated by Warday, the one that they made as a replica to the Anti-Materiel rifle from Fallout New Vegas, the F4NV team. They made that one. Somewhere a little bit less than that because it's semi-auto, right? You don't want to be too overpowered, but that's what I think about for balance. But whether that happens, we'll have to see. But yeah, if you want to see this weapon in your game, check out the link in the description. It should be down there. Go download it. That's it for me. Goodbye.